Welcome to another adventure. I have kept you guys kind of in the dark for long enough. I haven't posted much content about it, but today, as you realize by the title of the video, I'm gonna show you around the Turbo S. So here we go. Oh wait, that's not the right one. But look at this thing. How cool is this? So that is a scale model of the actual Turbo S, complete replica. So made by this guy named Bought and Built on Instagram. He actually got everything right down to my Instagram name on the actual rear window of it. And that's insanely cool. So here we go. Right behind me now, we've got the actual Turbo S, the Pink Pig. So before we get into the video today, I want to tell you guys about the Honest Bison. So the Honest Bison is somewhat exotic meats, 100% grass-fed, and free to roam. So they provided me with some meat for my travels. I'll be making this bison ribeye steak over the fire tonight. I came out in American Fork Canyon to camp by myself, and this is my first time actually camping out of the Turbo S. So it's an experience for both me and for you. If you're interested in the Honest Bison or purchasing some meats for your travels, I have an affiliate link or the coupon code down below. And while we're at it, please like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Let's talk about the most obvious thing on the car first. That would be the vinyl wrap. So there is a bit of history behind this, and I haven't seen any other Cayennes pull it off. This livery was first used with the number 23 on the 1971 Porsche 917 in the 24-hour Le Mans, and then used again in 2018 on the 911 RSR in the 24-hour Le Mans. So it's only really been used twice within Porsche's heritage. As you've seen recently, Ken Block also came out with kind of his version, the Huna Pegasus, which is incredibly cool. I hope to see it at Pikes Peak in a couple days, or actually like 2 weeks from now. But I wanted to go my own direction with this. I wanted it to look like it just rolled off of the Dakar rally. So I wanted it to look worn, muddy, kind of dirty, like it had been through some shit. And that was the goal with this. So starting in the front, I have the Eurowise Baja bar. I custom powder coated this in white to match the Hellas on both the Baja bar and the roof rack. So for up here, I've got the Frontrunner Slimline 2 roof rack with 3 sets of their legs for it. I've also got their wind fairing. On the rack itself, I've got 2 version 2 Maxtrax with the Frontrunner mount for the Maxtrax, or really any recovery boards that you want to use, this mount will work with. I've got the spare tire mount with a flat tire on this because I did debead a tire the other day and swapped it out, but have not replaced the tire yet. So I have 2 Stratchets crossing over, and I also have the Frontrunner actual spare tire mount for the roof rack. You can kind of see it from underneath here, right in there. So it mounts from underneath and then pulls up and through to actually secure it really well. So I have 2 Frontrunner Wolfpack Pros up here. This one is filled with detailing supplies, and that one over there is filled with tools. So also secured just with 1 Stratchet each. For wheels, I have a set of 5 Rotiform STLs in 20x9 inch with General tires on them, General Tire ATXs in 275/55/20s. It's the smallest AT they actually sell in a 20-inch size, and it comes out to about 31.9 inches in diameter. To fit the 31.9-inch tires, I've got a 3-inch lift kit for the air suspension from Eurowise. So that includes the 1-inch on top of the actual top hat, and then the fork extensions that are right here. I also have the sway bar end links that are adjustable to keep the car rigid throughout turns. This also has a 1-inch subframe drop to keep the axles at a happy angle. Right now it is in the highest off-road setting, so the special terrain mode. This gives it about 9 inches over the tire. In the normal mode, it sits at about 5 or 6 inches, somewhere around there. And in the lowest parked mode, somewhere about 4 inches. So I have my fender liners out right now, obviously, because I've been dealing with issues with the front upper control arms. This company PreKom sent them to me. I guess they didn't realize that I was going to be using the air suspension, or that I had air suspension on the vehicle they were going to go on. But the pivot point for the front air suspension links, or the level sensors, is in the wrong spot. So this has caused me to break the front level sensors. They're both about $400 a piece. I fortunately was able to get them for about $270 each from Porsche of Oklahoma City. He helped me out on that, Ryan DeToro, really good guy. And I was able to get rolling again. I also had to kind of create like a little ghetto thing to put the air suspension pivot point back in the right spot, but I still can't get it correct and get the car to like level itself out properly. So the right side sits about an inch lower than the left. I would just recommend the Eurowise upper control arms unless you're going to be using these with like a spring suspension. They look really good. The camber adjustability is nice, but for air suspension, I would stick with Eurowise. I think they've got it right from, first time. Moving to the inside, it is a little bit cluttered right now, so I haven't done too much. I just have, and not even mounted, I have the trigger 4 controller, so I'm able to use that to activate the front lights. So I only have the Baja bar and the top lights on this. So that one is for the top lights, and this one is for the bottom lights. So the top lights I have all kind of wired through one wire, of course, and then 4 through the same gauge wire as the 6, but they require a lot of power, and I have to rewire them at some point with a thicker gauge so that the wire doesn't get too hot and so they can get the power that they need to be as bright as they should be. These, I'm not sure. I think those are as bright as they should be. Those, not so much power. The power is divided up a little more, but let's turn those off so I don't kill the battery. In the back of the car, I've got something really cool back here. Something I didn't know I was gonna have until I became an affiliate and ambassador for Frontrunner. So I have Frontrunner's 60/40 drawers for back here. It's a really solid system, and they also have mounting points to secure whatever you want to the top of it. So I've taken advantage of that to mount a GOALZERO 3000 watt battery with the vehicle integration kit. So this is charging right off of the battery underneath the driver's seat. So when the car is on, this will get sometimes up to 200 watts. So I never have to worry about the battery being at anything but 100%, unless I'm running the fridge overnight, but this normally doesn't have a fridge in it. So I've got my MyMedic first aid kit that I transfer between cars depending on what I'm doing. Oh, there's also a bee in here. Get out of here, bee. That's annoying. Get out of here. Okay, back to it. I have an Element fire extinguisher under here. This is good for I think 55 or 90 seconds worth of fire suppression. The GOALZERO, I can charge anything that I want off of it. So I had my camera gear charging on the way up here, and also this GOALZERO light. On the right side, I keep mostly clothes because I currently don't have the Cayenne S running the way it should, so I have to replace both front axles. I also have to replace the rear arms or figure out the situation with those. So until I do that, I am basically day traveling and camping out of the Turbo S until I get those fixed. In the front, as far as my camp setup goes, I've got my Dometic refrigerator, the 35 in here. I've got 2 alu boxes, one on each side, and then I've also got a 7-gallon water tank. So this should sustain me for at least like, a day or 2 if I wanted to stay out here that long. Wouldn't have to worry about it, or like probably even a week. Depends on how much space or what I'm gonna be eating within that week. Now for the special parts of the car, and where I decided to go kind of above and beyond, I probably shouldn't have done this if my plan is to eventually sell the car, but I decided to do IPD intake plenum. I decided to do BMC air filters. I also did a FabSpeed high flow catalytic converter and a secondary cat delete. This car also had a muffler delete, or I did that. That was basically the first modification I did to the car. And because of that, I am hoping that once this is tuned, it makes somewhere around 600, maybe 650 if I'm very lucky, horsepower, hopefully around 600 torque. But it should make it a very fun car, very obnoxious for what I'm doing with it, almost completely unnecessary, but why not? So in here, we've got the IPD intake plenum, and it kind of just replaces stock. There's nothing too much different about it. It's supposed to smooth out the air that actually goes into the intake manifold. Nothing crazy there. It's good for like 30 horsepower or something like that, apparently. So one thing that I've been asked about, but I haven't really made a video on before, the B's right in front of the lens. Get out of here, buddy. So something that I haven't shown before of the Turbo S or the Cayenne S are some sound clips, like just standing sound clips. So right now I'm gonna start it. It's not gonna be a cold start because I did drive it here just now, but I'm gonna do this, and then I'm also gonna do a rolling sound clip. So this is with the high flow primary cats, the secondary cat delete, and a muffler delete. Now here it is at just idle. Here is a side profile sound clip. So very honestly, from the front, with all of the lights on, with the covers off, I think this looks like literally one of the coolest cars. Like one of the coolest cars I've ever owned, for sure. Like, it looks like it just rolled out of a rally. It's just insane. And it's exactly the look that I was going for when I kind of envisioned that this vehicle was going to be a reality. For photographs, it's one of the coolest things because you get the glare from all of those halo lights up here. So in a photograph, when those are pointing at the camera, it looks like one of the coolest things. I love this so much, and I couldn't have imagined it coming out any better. And I'm so glad to be able to drive it around. I don't know how long I'm gonna hold on to this for, but I am gonna use the hell out of it in the meantime. If you haven't seen the photos of me at the sand dunes in this, head on over to my Instagram. I posted those up today. At the time that you're seeing this, maybe it's been a little while, but I hope you enjoyed this as much as I do. So now that we're back at camp, I'm gonna try and get set up as quickly as I can. I scouted some free firewood at a nearby fire pit. So I decided to bring some of that home so that I can use it. So for inside my tent for tonight, since I am ground camping, I have my Helinox cot. It's lightweight, made for backpacking. I've also got my Rumpel blanket stored in a waterproof bag, or a dry bag rather. I've got my camp chair for the fireside. I've also got my fireside table. So I somehow managed to forget to bring tongs. So I'm not sure how I'm really gonna flip this while it's on the Otzi stove. I am using the Otzi stove tonight. I have never used this before. So you basically put a piece of wood in it that's already burning and it'll cook the food. I've seen them all over the place. This is my first time actually trying one. I'm also not the best chef, so I hope that I don't ruin this steak. This is the only one that I've thawed. So I've also got some veggies to go with it here. Basically just gonna oil those, put those on top, and then see how they come out. In the meantime, I've got some strawberries, some blackberries and stuff that I can munch on. So this will be my first attempt cooking this. Before it gets too dark though, I am gonna set up my tent. So I actually have two of these. One kind of destroyed itself, or at least destroyed the bag that it was kept in. And then the rods for the actual tent kind of splintered and gave up. So it's gonna be high wind tonight, so you have to watch out for this too. High wind, so I'm gonna stake it down. However, I am not going to use, I'm not going to use the rainfly. So it's kind of like a bivvy. I got this from a friend of mine from his warehouse. So the poles are very easy to set up. It's actually just one long pole, and then get it in the ends. Just kind of pops in there. Once we've got that pulled out, what you use is you can put the cot underneath it actually. So I'll pull the cot out. So now that camp's set up, I can actually open and try to put together the Otzi grill. There's also a package in here. I don't know what this is. So I get to open and try and figure out what everything does while I'm already here. Oh, is this like a, I have no idea what this is right here. Oh, that's like the extra top part of it. Okay, let's stick that in there. This is probably the main stove right here. Skewers. That's easy. I am starving and excited to get the actual food going. So I have the cheater's way of doing things, and that's a torch. I'm gonna use the torch to get the fire started. And once it's started, I'll probably throw an actual log on there. All this wood should be dry enough. Now that the fire's caught, got my beer open. Time to throw the bison on there. Whew. Knife cuts like butter. Okay, so I actually need to, there we go. Now I'm gonna clean the knife after, but let's go ahead and throw that steak on there. I'm an idiot and I didn't bring tongs, so I might have to use the steaks that come with the Otzi kit. Or Otzi. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce the name of the company. Also, I'm gonna throw some seasoning on there. I don't know if I even really cooked the vegetables correctly. I think like some little sides of them are burnt. Cauliflower is pretty good. Honestly wish I had some tomatoes to throw in there. Not a bad taste. I'm really excited to see how the steak tastes. So I'm gonna cut a piece off of that. So I'm gonna use my phone because I want to get a good look at this. I don't know, that's pretty thoroughly cooked in the middle. All right, first bite. Pretty good. Yeah. I think I cooked it really well. The wind's kind of screwing me up because it's just changing direction every few minutes. So no matter what side of the fire I sit on, I'm basically getting blasted with smoke. And that's pretty unfortunate. Strawberry. Yeah, seems like I got it medium well all the way through. For my first time really making anything, I would say this is decent. Definitely decent enough to eat. I'm enjoying it. So after I finish this, I'm gonna turn in for the night. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, comment. Anything helps. Anything helps grow the channel. If you guys are interested in the honest bison, follow the link below. Get a free pound of ground bison with your first purchase, thanks to the affiliate link and the coupon code. So thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you. Have a good night.